Hey there, it's William Westhopper from the Real DC Car Guy, and today we're with the 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz. So let's have a look at it. So the interior, somewhat Spartan, but look at the little details right here. The piping and the stitching, that matches the exterior of the ID Buzz. This is a cooled and heated seat, very, very comfortable. So this seat does move back electrically when you open up the door. And this is manual, so you have that control there. USB-Cs again on the doors, on the front door, that's kind of fun there. So you got that. There's another little cubby hole right here. Now this whole unit pops out if you want to take it out, which is great, very flexible. And then there is a place for a water bottle. At first I thought this was the water spot, but you can make these move around a little bit. You can make those move around a little bit. Water bottle spills there, but it does fine over there. So lots of cubby spaces. There's a cubby space, but you can put your phone down inside here, back toward the back, heads up, and the phone will charge there. You won't be able to see your phone, which is what you're not supposed to do. Something else that I really like is the pause brake and the play accelerator pedal. It is not a gas pedal in an electric car, it's an accelerator pedal, and it says play. Now, one of the things that I found very uncomfortable with it is the side mirrors. You really do have a huge blind spot right behind you. So I have the mirrors all the way to the out, and the way they are now. I actually lost a semi-truck back there. So this is a 2025 ID Buzz Pro S. It's in Pompello yellow with candy white roof exterior and a copper interior, which is very nice. 91 kilowatt hour battery, which is wonderful. Expected mileage on this. The mileage has been great. I've been very pleased with how it manages its mileage. It is a single electric motor with rear wheel drive. You can get 4Motion with this vehicle, but this one does not have it. So price tag on this, $66,040. That includes $1,550 in destination charges and $995 for the upgrade of color. So it does have a search for parking system, so it's looking for parking, which is nice. All right, and one of the things that I find interesting with this vehicle is the fact that, let me see if I can pull it up here, and that's what I'm experiencing right now. Very comfortable to have that. It does have a passenger, so it's gonna do that, so you can't see anything. Oh yeah, you can see a little bit of the seat moving back and forth there. So the seat does, so it does have that option. 2 front window switches, but if you want to do those rear windows like this one here. Now we still get the drumming effect if the rear side windows are open and you're driving down the road, which is interesting. I've heard that from several van owners about that, and you sometimes get that same effect with a sunroof open. The screen was a little awkward only because it was distracting as you were driving. It really does take your eye off the road trying to control all these little switches and lights and things like that. There's the HUD HUD, the heads-up display was great, except for the fact that it didn't work real well with polarized sunglasses. That little light that pops up there, that's an odd little light. It does little things and it needs to be better organized or better programmed in. The green will go over here, or blue I think it was, telling you when you're on map direction, but it only does it once. So if you weren't looking, you wouldn't see it to tell you that you were going to go that way. In Audi, it is like the turn signals when those are on. Those are the turn signals. So while it's kind of cute, it doesn't do anything. It needs to be reprogrammed. Rear view mirror, just a regular rear view mirror, nothing fancy about that. So that's the inside of the ID Buzz. Right, so we just charged to 100%. Let's see what it's telling us here. So it's telling us we have 298 miles there. what it says over here. Charging 298.8. It was a little 283 right after charging, so now it's up a little bit. Must be the temperature. So we have the key here. Controls for the rear side doors are right here, and you can turn it off. Let's see, I'll turn it off. So there it's off. Or you can do that. I can hit this. You can see that the door will open automatically. So this would be great for an Uber driver to drive this. And then if you did it again, so let's go ahead and talk about the second row seating here. So that little controller right there, door controls, you can do it a couple of different ways. I can probably do it up here, but I think I have the child lock on. There's the window, there's the seat heater, all kinds of things. So you got to learn where everything is back up in here. Interesting, there is no center armrest. So this one folds and this one folds. So this truly is I'd say almost 80-20 seat situation. So we could roll this one down, I believe. Actually, I think it's there. All right, so there you go. Now you can see these controllers up here. You can see those controllers there for the fan. So this is what second row. Lots of room in the second row. So if you're doing Uber, this is going to be very, very comfortable here for that. This would be a great Uber vehicle. Let's go back into that third row, because we were wondering how do you get to the third row. Well, there is that. So there you've got your third row right there. Plenty of leg room with the seats back. Very controllable. And this is how you make it move forward and backward, and then there's a little plug in the back that pulls out as well. There are lots of air vents in and out of this vehicle. So let's pop in and sit in the third row. So sitting in the third row, at first you realize it's a little uncomfortable there. This moves up, and then you have to pull the thing back to lean the seat back a little bit, which is what I did on this one over here. Let's see if you can see it. So there you are, there's your third row. Here's what we got. If we have the seats all the way to the back, you've got plenty of leg room back in here. So there is leg room. There's also vents up here in the back. And once we're inside, you'll see that, and I've got the vehicle on, you can see that you can control them from there. So now we have the hatch open because we were putting the little boxes and the shelf back in because we had those out for the parade yesterday. But look, you can do that. And yes, if you want, you can lug these out and take this out and then have this whole area here as an open area. So that was something that people were asking about. Now it does have an air conditioner in the back because there's fans up there. I can hear the fan running right here. What I'm really getting a kick out are these little Easter eggs that it has. Also up in the back here, there is USB-C, a little holder there, a little cup holder, another little holder for something. So there is something there for that third row. All right, so here we are. ID Buzz. It's interesting. I don't know if you can see it from here, from your angle, but I can certainly see it. This huge amount of space here. This dashboard that I'd say is probably 24 to 30 inches down at the base. I mean, it's almost like the hood of your car is here as opposed to in front, and that is very different. It's an experience to drive. It is not your normal, typical minivan or van at all, and it's certainly, I vaguely remember driving a 72 VW bus back in the 70s, and I know that was a little different too because everything's right up front, but that was a stick shift, so that's a whole different experience. But this really is, the electric power is amazing, plenty of power. These seats are massaging, which is really great. So it's just kind of a very different experience. More so than other minivans, and certainly more so than a pickup truck or an SUV or a crossover. So if you're going to try one out, be prepared to have a couple of days to get used to it. I mean, that's the hardest thing that I found, is that I had to get used to this vehicle. So sight lines, wow, there's lots of glass around. The cameras are great. The mirrors are a little distorted, so it takes a little bit to get used to what you're seeing out those mirrors and where things really are. That took me about 2 days to get used to that. Handling is really good. I'd really like to see what this is like in a windy situation, and I don't know that we'll have any wind during my review week that we have this, but that would be an interesting experience to see how this handles, because it does have it's tall, and even though it is wide, it's tall and van-like, so it's got big sails on the sides. All right, so we've just done a little over 200 miles, and I have 45 miles left, 16%. And I gotta say, this vehicle did a good job of holding together that 16%. Let me see if I can find the information on this guy. So I was really pleased with how quickly this thing charged on my level 2 home charger. That worked out nicely. I'd say 12 hours, and I went from 20% to 90%. Pretty good on that. And I'm only a 15-watt charger, so it's not a lot. We went 176 miles, 4 hours and 2 minutes. Average speed of 45 miles, 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. Right now it's using 0.8 of a kilowatt hour. Let's go long term. Let's see what long term says. This vehicle has 5,304 miles, 24 miles per hour. So there it is, 2.6. And since the charge, so the charge this morning that I did, so it's interesting because we did more than 408, but I don't know what that deal is there. So 3.1 there, 2.6 there, 3.3 there. 3.3, 2.6, 3.1, very good. You want to know what's under the hood? Well, there's really no under the hood. It's actually below the hood. So there's below the hood. It really doesn't, it's only to access the coolant, or only access the washer fluid, and maybe there's a couple of other little things here to access, but not much really. There's a barrier there, so there's really not a whole lot to see. So that, of course, that is the ID Buzz. Yeah, don't you love it when it lights up like that. So something that I think that an aftermarket should do is take these guys, turn them into LEDs and make sequential lights out of them, put them there, and then they go down, as you're going down the road, that they would go down that way and look like flames coming out the back. It's pretty cool. So our overall impressions of this rather large beast of a Volkswagen it is a great vehicle, and it is a lot of fun to drive. Gotta say, it is a vehicle that actually I would buy, even at its price of $66,000 and its low range of 285, 291 miles. I just think this vehicle is really, really great. And if you want a vehicle that's going to get a lot of smiles and everybody's going to want to talk to you, it's this one. So until next time, it was great to have you with the ID Buzz, and we will see you on the next round.